piece of meat?
Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel the need for speed.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
You do? You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
What's up, film fans? Happy Wednesday, and welcome to episode 278. Welcome to Whiplash, and welcome to a new episode of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Juan, and I'm joined by the cast, the crew, the band members. Zach?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Also joined by the 4K bad guy, Nick.
What's up?
And Craig.
Hello.
What's up, guys? How was everybody's holiday weekend? Or month, almost.
Oh, it was good. It was good.
Come and
Chill with
gone,
family.
as I say.
Zach, you can't seem any more happy that the fucking holidays are over.
You know, it's just me. It's just me and one family member. So it's, it really isn't that bad, but it's just amazing how time flies, honestly. I mean, hell, we're already almost halfway through January. So.
Don't say that. We just started January. No, I was talking to Nick about this earlier Monday because we had a bonus episode on Monday night. I told him how it kind of feels a little depressed. The holidays are over. The music is gone. The lights are gone. The gift giving is gone. Sitting on Santa's big giant lap is gone. The countdown to the New Year is gone. It feels like now that it's over, it's just a little depressing. Back to normal life, back to regular schedule.
For you guys, my Christmas tree's still up.
My Christmas tree's still up too. I'm honestly debating about just leaving it up. Everybody likes it. Maybe I can add some pink hearts to it or something. I can be one of them people.
Got my Halloween decorations still up.
Oh yeah. So, but welcome to a new episode. Today we are talking about Whiplash. If you haven't joined us on the social media, or if you've been underneath a rock, or if you just don't know what we're talking about, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome live on Facebook or Ema Swap Productions YouTube channel, or you're listening out in podcast land on this chilly Wednesday night. Even over where you're at, Nick, in Texas, this weekend, we're supposed to have some really cold weather. What about you guys? Same over there too?
Yeah, I went out physical media hunting earlier, so it was cool in the morning, but it got hot after a while. Just want to take my sweater off and throw it in the street.
There you go. That's some of
It's
that.
supposed to be in the negatives on Sunday.
For us, yeah, here.
-6.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. We're here to go. We got a new episode. We're talking about another good movie. If you guys have not joined us, last time we had a live episode. We talked about our top 5 plus 5 holiday movies. You can find that episode and all the other archive episodes on the social media, facebook.com/the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. The Instagram is all one word, / the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. X is at Cine-Men405. Or the email is cinemen921@gmail.com. Those emails are important. It takes me a while to go through them. They do get read. Unlike the Epstein files, they don't get deleted, though.
Crazy.
So, but since it's been so long since we've gotten into it, let's dig into little recent watches. I'm not going to go through my entire list during the holiday season, but Zach, let's start with you. Let's say you. What did you have anything that you want to recommend or get off your chest?
Yeah, I just trying to do catch up for the final couple films I haven't got to see for 2023. I'll just rapid fire through them. Wonka, Maestro, Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, The Iron Claw, fantastic movie. The Sylvester Stallone documentary on Netflix, Sly. Candy Cane Lane, Ferrari, The Covenant, excellent movie. If you haven't got a chance on Amazon Prime.
I'm so sorry you sat through Candy Cane Lane.
It was not my decision. I'll just say that. Somewhere in Queens, It Lives Inside, Expendables 4, god awful movie.
God awful.
Dumb Money, which was really fantastic. Joyride, and I went and saw the new, I guess my first film of 2024, Night Swim. Terrible. I just, like I said in the group chat, another bland, very by the numbers horror movie. So, and watching Reacher and Monarch. So,
is Monarch over?
Last episode is this Friday. So, so if I had to recommend stuff, I really liked Wonka, for The Covenant, and Dumb Money. That's probably the ones that out of those bunch to check out.
Nice. What about you, Nick? You have anything you want to recommend that you got to watch recently?
Recently, as far as theater watches, I did see Iron Claw. Last night I saw, not that I wanted to see it, but I went to go see it, Aquaman.
What did you guys think? I want both y'all's opinions because I haven't seen it. I don't think Craig went and saw it. Everybody's trashing on it. It's the last, DC movie technically in the Snyder League. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Nick.
It felt more like I was watching more of a Marvel tone movie because they were going for the more comedic route.
Listen, I was going in expecting a complete utter train wreck, and amazingly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be honest. So,
was it better than The Flash?
I enjoyed it more than The Flash. The Flash is really just gotten worse as I think, as time has gone on.
Oh shit!
So,
what about you, Nick? Did you like it better than The Flash?
It's been a while since I've actually seen The Flash, but
from the way it sounds, I mean, I've only seen The Flash twice, and if it wasn't for Michael Keaton being in it and me getting that nostalgia pumped into my veins, I wouldn't really care about The Flash. So, what about you, Craig? You have any recent watches or recommendations?
Man, not really. I'm all caught up on Reacher. Again, fantastic show season.
Yeah.
Went and saw Wonka. I ended up leaving a little early. Adley enjoyed it, but as we were going into Quail, you guys know how there's that area with the trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
They strap you in, and
yeah.
So she saw that going in, and during the movie, just loud as can be, she's like, "When can we go do the jump?" I was like, "Shh, we'll go right now. Obviously, you don't want to be here." But leading up to it, she was enjoying it, but she just had her mind dead set on doing that. So we left right when he met the Oompa Loompa, and so I'll catch it when it comes out. But I enjoyed it. I think it's very different compared to the older one with
Gene Wilder. Yeah,
Gene Wilder, but it had its own flavor and it worked. I enjoyed how they treated it. So
I feel like Timothée Chalamet kind of paid homage to Gene Wilder, but did his own thing. So
yeah, it's I don't know if obviously Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka is going to be tops for forever, but I do think it was worthy of a redo from Timothy. So
yep.
Also joined by Ed, the bed.
Hey, how's it going, folks?
What's up, man? You recently check anything out that you want to recommend to anybody?
I mean, the only thing we've been doing, we're still watching series here and there. The only thing we've really done is Vampire Diaries for a little while now. So, I mean, if you're into that, sure, but not 100%, no.
Like Zach, I've been trying to keep up and catch up on some 23 movies. Saltburn is an interesting watch. I don't know if anybody's watched it. I've heard a lot about it, so
it's on the list. I'm kind of scared about it, to be honest.
I went into it, and it's a fun, slow burn of a thriller, and then it turns into a wildly entertaining A24 vibes kind of movie. So
thanks for the heads up.
Maestro. Anybody have any want to check out Echo?
I want to check out Echo.
Yeah.
That's the one with the Kingpin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard
I
good things. I've heard really good things about it.
Same. Checked out Maestro, A Good Person, which is going to be an episode here soon. The Iron Claw, Expendables 4 was trash.
Oh.
And then I've been getting into movie franchises. I knocked out the entire Harry Potter franchise, Hunger Games, Terminator. I am probably doing Planet of the Apes next. It's almost like a little franchise review / physical media review that I'm doing for each franchise that I touch. It's just one of those. What's that?
Are you doing the Andy Serkis movies, or are you going to do the whole thing?
I think I'm going to do the whole thing. I think I'm going to do all the original Planet of the Apes movies, the Tim Burton movie, and then the new trilogy leading into the one that comes out in May.
Oh shit! I forgot I forgot there was a Tim Burton Planet of the Apes. To be honest,
everybody else did too. It's okay. But yeah, no, Zach. Everybody else also. We can talk some Golden Globe wins.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer's won all the awards.
Yeah.
So did the Holdovers, Zach. Which you've been telling everybody since you went and saw that it was really, really good. Paul Giamatti won something, but usually if they win at the Golden Globes for musical or comedy, they're probably not going to win anything at the Oscars. You think it's going to be a shame if that movie gets left out completely?
Yeah. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed that movie, to be honest. I do think Paul Giamatti and Divine Joy Randolph, I think they are in the leads for their competitions. Just quickly go over just a couple. Like we said, Oppenheimer won the whole thing. It won Best Picture Drama, Best Director Christopher Nolan, Best Actor in a Drama Cillian Murphy, Best Supporting Actor Robert Downey Jr., and Best Score. So 5. The most nominated film, Barbie, only walked away with 2. They won the new Cinematic and Box Office Achievement Award, and Billie Eilish's song won for Best Original Song. What Was I Made For? So yeah, I had fun watching it. I think Poor Things, the Emma Stone movie, really made a big surprise, outdoing Barbie. And on the TV side, Succession and The Bear. The Bear did really good at the Globes. So
yeah,
I need to watch season 2 of that. I've heard amazing things about it.
Happy for Jeremy with The Bear, because it seemed like, you see the commercial for it whenever season 1 was about to drop, and you're like, okay, it looks all right. I might check it out. But then you check it out, and like Johnny said, he got hooked. I got hooked. We binged pretty much the entire first season. So props to him. Really well done with his character in that series.
Yeah, season 2 is just as good. It's really phenomenal.
And the I forget the actress' name, but the one that plays Sydney, she won Best Actress in a TV musical drama. So, so overall, it kind of sets the playing field for what's coming. I think everyone, I think me, Johnny, Ned, we're on the Oppenheimer episode. We won't be mad if that wins Best Picture at the Oscars. I think it's totally deserving of it. So we'll just have to see.
I just hope like a dark horse doesn't come out and win like fucking The Poor Things or something.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll just have to find out.
So holidays are past us. We're on to Whiplash. We're on to the best of 2023, which should be an episode in March. Well, it's a fun little award show. We talk about our favorite actors, actresses, best and worst of 23. I think this is like our 5th best of award show that we've done in a row now. So should be fun. Look for that episode come in March. But now we're talking and kicking off the year with the year 2014. It's hard to believe that happened 10 years ago this year. So what better way to celebrate Whiplash and the year 2014 than by counting down and talking our top 5 2014 movies. right, guys. So we're talking top 5 2014 movies. I am gonna rapid fire through my honorable mentions, and then I think I'm gonna go just 5 through 1. Chef, Nightcrawler, and my official honorable mention is gonna be Godzilla. So, does anybody else have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I'm gonna do 22 Jump Street. Well, actually, the Lego Movie, the first John Wick, The Drop, and my official honorable mention, 22 Jump Street.
Anybody else?
Yeah. For me, it's going to be John Wick, Edge of Tomorrow, and Ex Machina.
All right. I'm gonna just go through my 5 real quick. Number 5 is gonna be Fury with Brad Pitt. Number 4, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Number 3, I had to fit an A24 movie in there somewhere, but number 3 is A Most Violent Year. Number 2 is what we're talking about today, Whiplash, and number 1, my favorite movie of 2014, Boyhood. So, Ed, what about you? You wanna run through your 5? We can't hear you, sir.
Sorry, I forgot I did that. Yeah, I can. Mine kind of was a hard list to kind of do because there was a lot of movies I really liked in that year. So don't get mad at me about any of them. The Equalizer, I'm going to put it at number 5. Number 4, I'm going to go ahead and do The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. Number 3, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Number 2, Godzilla, and then number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy. So
nice, good list. Nick, what about you? You have a 5 you want to share?
My 5. I'm gonna show some off. So Unfriended. It's not the best, but I mean I like the idea, and that was before they did that movie Host in 2020. It's for a pretty cheesy movie, but I have a fun time with it. That stars Zac Efron, Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan. That awkward moment.
Yeah,
that's a funny movie.
Good one.
I don't have it on me, but why am I going blank on that? The Fault in Our Stars. I think that's a pretty cool movie with Shailene Woodley.
Yeah, that is a good movie. I forgot that came out that year. Yep, me too.
I cried, bro.
You cried
like
in the
baby.
theater. Mallory looked at me like, "What are you doing?" Like, I'm crying, bro. It's sad.
Got hit. My number 2, which has grown on me over the years, It Follows. Got this nice second sight release. And number 1 is the movie we're talking about today.
The Whiplash. Nice. Craig, you want to finish us off? Or no? Zach still has to go too, huh?
Yep.
Craig, go ahead. What's your 5?
All right, I'll go second, or I'll do it now. Number 5 for me is going to be The Kingsman. Number 4 for me is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 3 is going to be Whiplash. Number 2, Captain America: Winter Soldier. And number 1, the movie that absolutely blew my mind, Interstellar.
Good old Matthew McConaughey made your list, huh? See?
All right.
Zach, finish us off. What's your 5?
Number 5, Interstellar. Number 4, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Number 3, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Number 2, the movie we're talking about today, Whiplash. And number 1, 2014's Godzilla.
It's Gojira.
That is true. I did see that Godzilla -1 is getting a re-release in Japan in black and white.
I know.
And if it does good there, it might
bring
be
it over here.
Yeah, a North American release as well. So,
they should leave it subbed for us.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
a black and white Japanese subbed. Yeah, that'd be really legit.
I can't wait till it hits physical media. Then it's going to be a day 1 episode.
Well, I hope they do like both versions on the Blu-ray, black and white and colored, like how they did Logan when it came out.
Why don't you go straight to Criterion and it's like $60?
I don't give a damn.
All right, guys, let's dig into today. Today we're talking about Whiplash. It has a release date of October 10th, 2014. IMDb has it at 8.5. Rotten Tomatoes at 94%. The Metascore is at 89%. With a $3 million budget, it grossed a little over $49 million at the box office. Starring Miles Teller, J.K. Simmons, Melissa Benoist, Paul Reiser, directed by Damien Chazelle. And a promising young drummer enrolls at a cutthroat music conservatory where his dreams of greatness are mentored by an instructor who will stop at nothing to realize a student's potential. In all honesty, it sounds like Palpatine and Lord Vader. But let's dig into this episode, guys. Zach, we'll start with you. Do you remember the first time you seen this, and what was it like revisiting it for the episode?
Yeah, I think I didn't see this in the theater, which kills me. I really wish I had seen this in the theater. I think I'd seen this after the Oscars when, J.K. Simmons won, and I think it won for Best Film Editing, I believe. I was just like, you know what? It was one of the nominated pictures. Let me check it out. Freaking loved it. I like I said, I kicked myself that I didn't get to see this in the theater. And on this rewatch, I still feel the same way, and there's a lot about this movie that is awesome. So we'll get into it.
Yeah, same. I didn't get to check this out in the theater. I watched it just because I knew it was being nominated, and yeah, we'll go from there. Ed, what about you?
I'm sorry, you said do what now?
Is this a first time watch, or do you remember what it was like? Oh, first time for Ed.
Yeah, man. This is hella intense. So
nice. Nick, what about you?
It was my first time was watching on DVD. Versus rewatch, it's always a pleasure. Rewatching this way. This was what Blumhouse, not a horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. Nick is a huge Miles Teller fan, so anytime we get a chance to do like a Miles Teller movie or anything, man, he gets to hop on it and talk about big old Miles.
Big old Miles.
I'm excited. That's his nickname. Yeah, Rooster. There you go. Craig, what about you? You remember you checking this movie out a while ago back? What was it like revisiting for the episode?
Yeah, so checked it out first time like 2 years ago, I believe. You guys were talking about it. You did like a recent watch, and I told myself I would check it out. Absolutely loved it the first time around. Rewatching it, I think I checked it out like the first 30 minutes, like a couple months ago, and then just wasn't able to finish it. But for my second full-time watch, again, enjoyed it start to finish. I think this movie really has it gives you a lot of depth and feeling between two people that you don't see in a lot of movies anymore. So I think the chemistry between Miles and JK is pretty good.
Yeah.
And it kicks off right, straight from the beginning. It's the movie to me is so intense. There's also some people who can't like watch it or finish it because the intense chemistry between the two is so much, almost because of the character that J.K. Simmons plays. It is very, very intense, and I'm almost wanting to say it's not for everybody, depending on what you think of a valid performance could be.
Yeah.
Well, and not just that. I mean, let's be honest. His character is almost manipulative, very abusive. So I could see why people might have a hard time watching this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very deplorable character, but at the heart of it, he's very much a person that he says this to Miles Teller and everyone that he comes essentially into contact to. He just demands perfection, and if you don't have perfection, get out of his face. Otherwise, he will destroy you. And I think this whole the first scene is with Fletcher and what was Miles Teller's name?
Andrew
Neiman.
Yeah.
Neiman.
Where he just comes in and he's just practicing, and he says, what's your name? And they go into it, and he says, I'm looking for players. And it's just like right off the bat, it's just like he already insults him. It's just like, your answer
He's
for
like, why'd you
playing.
stop?
Yeah, why'd you stop? Is like, did I ask you to stop playing? And your answer is just to start up as like a wind up monkey. I was like, oh, all right. So we're just going off, right off the deep end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, has anyone else played an instrument before at all?
Yeah.
No.
I was in band and drums.
You had drums. What did you play in band?
Yeah. The baritone.
Baritone.
And then I went to bass drum and drumline.
Okay. I mean, I was a violinist for basically 7.5 years. And I mean, dude, that, like, a lot of it was, wanted perfection and all that crap. But, like, I mean, I get I was in elementary, middle school, and high school. But, dude, I don't care. Like, don't put your hands on me. Like, you can go ahead and get mad and all that. Don't. But, like, in the scene with, like, the chair throw and then slapping him for time measures.
Yeah.
That was just like, oh,
like,
you're a single tier guy? Bro, I'm about to have a stick through your throat is what I'm about to have.
What do you guys think about the scene where he asked him, he wants to know some background information, and then he ends up just turning around and using that as, like, fuel fire?
It's so
I've
shitty.
seen that.
It's just, you think for a second that he cares about Andrew, and it's just like, yeah, let me just get to know that my new student. No, it's really just psychological profiling to the T and just using it against him.
Yep.
It's horrible.
That's why I was saying he's manipulative. The dude just, he makes you seem like he's your friend, and 10 seconds later, he's absolutely tearing you down for everything you just told him.
At your throat.
And the thing that, like, it's just baffling, but I'm doing it as a joke, but in all seriousness, it's like, I never thought that J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man could do this type of performance. I mean,
right.
J.K. Simmons in this is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, 100%.
And I put on here, and I want to get your guys' thought on this. It was like, I feel like the theme of this movie, and there's many things, but I think like the overall arching theme is how your love for something can become like an overarching obsession in your life. Like you start to date Nicole, who's like the popcorn girl at the movie theater, and he literally breaks up with her and says, hey, you're going to be in my way because I want to be the best, like in a very like dick type of move.
The whole movie is based upon how J.K. Simmons treats Miles Teller's character in the movie, but I almost feel like watching it this time around that Miles Teller, Andrew, was going to go down the path he was going down either way. Like, I think he was going to break up with a chick no matter what. I think he was going to ignore his dad at most times. If it wasn't Fletcher pushing him, then it was going to be himself pushing him, trying to get into Fletcher's class.
Well, I mean, those montages where Andrew is just practicing and practicing and practicing to the point where his hands are bleeding and blistered, and it's like the incredible scene where he dips his hand in the ice water and you can see the blood just like take over, going from left to right into the glass. Is like, and the thing that like is daunting to me is that there are people out there that like would just practice to 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. not nonstop, and just to achieve that level of not only greatness, but just like, I don't want to say showiness, but just like the ability to like, they're willing to do anything to get what they want.
It can definitely be a cutthroat society at times. A lot of it is helpful as well, though. But I mean, like, there are a lot of people out there that are just perfection driven. I mean, you look at something like Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and everybody's like, "Oh, that sounds so pretty, and it sounds so cool," and it's just like, yeah, but the work behind that, it's incredible. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it may not be like physically, as in like running or playing baseball or football or basketball, but it's a physical endurance of itself. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, like developing the calluses takes a while. Developing the musical knowledge takes a while. Like I probably couldn't pick up and do what I was doing in middle school, let alone high school, if I picked up a violin tomorrow. You know, I'm not saying I was great. I went to competitions and stuff like that, but at the same time, like it takes a lot to do any instrument. I tried trombone, but I don't have the lungs for that. So,
well, and I think what makes this movie, I don't want to say relatable, but like the very understanding is that this comes from a real place. Like Damien Chazelle, this is based off his experience at Princeton. When he was in a very competitive studio band, and the Fletcher is based off his professor that he had during that time, and it is very cutthroat. It's very in your face. When you first see Fletcher come in the first rehearsal scene, he almost looks like a drill sergeant in a certain way.
Mm-hmm. How he keeps his clothes and all that.
Yeah. And he just demands, like I said, perfection, and almost like in a military precision regimen almost type situation.
You can appreciate some of the lingo as well as some of the ways the on the sheet, the paper sheets or music sheets for that matter, you can appreciate a lot of that because the writing down and different things like that, a lot of people actually do, especially once you start getting to more advanced pieces or more advanced timings, or more like it's incredible out there. But specifically on some songs, and I mean that's whether you're in a band like, you know, Linkin Park or Metallica, or whether you're in an orchestra or a band that plays for a university or translate, whatever it is, there's specific ways you play some notes. There's specific ways you do, you know, crescendos, decrescendos, and vibratos and all that stuff. There's so many different ways that you can do it, but then on certain songs, certain pieces, there are very, very certain ways that you have to, or else it doesn't flow right into the next notes. It doesn't sound right in this style. It doesn't do right in that. And I mean, there's a few musicians out there that can kind of do what they want and kind of do whatever, and it just is great either way. But that's very few and far between.
Taylor Swift.
yeah. Like Taylor Swift.
What did you guys?
Go ahead.
What did you guys think about the scene where he comes in, they start playing, and he's like, somebody's off pitch. And he's going through each section, and he's like, you know, he's tearing down this guy.
He's like,
guy?
Yeah.
Elmer Fudd.
He's more worried about a Happy
there.
Meal.
There's no Mars bar down there.
Yeah.
But no, he's tearing down somebody who wasn't even in the wrong, but he doesn't want somebody who
doesn't know.
He says that he's like, he didn't know if he was off pitch or on pitch, and that's just as bad as being off pitch.
And that performance, that little performance where the kid walks out and it's just like a brief moment of silence, and he, like J.K. Simmons, like pops a grin. It's like, for the record, he wasn't out of tune. You were. And it was just like, damn.
Dude, that kind of pissed me off to the fact that like you kicked him out. You made him go through all that little bit of trauma, as well as kicked him out basically. But the little shit that was next to him that was out of tune, you didn't do nothing except for be like, yeah, it was you. Like, but, really?
Yeah, but that was his point, though. Like, if you can't recognize imperfection, then you don't even need to be here.
But at the same time, like, you're wanting to do that, and I get that. Like, I'm not saying I don't get that part. What I don't get is, and what I was upset about was the fact that you kicked dude out because he was just like, I don't know.
He wasn't looking
and all that.
Up. He was looking down. That's why.
No, he was nervous, so he didn't know which one, if he was yes or no. So when he said yes, I was, he didn't know. So I get that. But then the little shit next to him that didn't offer himself up, didn't say nothing, didn't even go ahead and admit that he was get out. You too. If I'm going to sacrifice him,
it's for the scene. It's for the scene.
I know, but I mean, don't get me wrong. Like,
Ed wants perfectionist, damn it.
No, fairness. If you're gonna kick a dude that you know wasn't out, just because he was nervous and was just like,
But maybe,
yeah,
maybe
you know,
maybe he saw the same thing in the other guy, like he saw in Neiman. He knew that there was drive and greatness, but he, you know what I mean. So,
just like in some of the companies out there, it's who you blow, not who you know.
and yeah, that's true.
So who knows? Maybe that dude was giving Fletcher a hell of a blowjob.
That's true.
Wow. Some of the taunts and just straight up belittling comments that he made to some of the players, though,
was it laughable?
I mean, it was just like, how do you come up with this stuff? Yes, it's like it's so bad and so demeaning that it was funny at times.
That's true. I was going to ask you that. Did anybody feel bad for giggling a lot during some of the insult scenes or lines?
No.
You didn't feel bad, or you didn't giggle?
I didn't giggle because it just like that's just that character. Like you don't want to cross him, you don't want to piss him off, you don't want to play out of tune. It's just like, oh, then you know what you're gonna get if you do.
I like the scene where he was telling that one dude, he was like, "This isn't your boyfriend. Don't come early."
Well, I mean, he wanted to be military, so in my eyes, it's just like half the time when he was insulting some of the people, it was just like, "What are you, a failed drill sergeant? You couldn't make it because you couldn't get your dick hard or something like that? Like, what was wrong with you?"
Whoa.
Hey.
Well, it's the same thing of like, what was wrong with him that you have to be that way to people? I get perfection and all that, but what's wrong with your life?
Yeah.
To a decent degree, once you reach, white and blue phase, they lean up a lot, but they expect a lot more.
Why is it got to be with color with you?
There are 5 phases: red, white, and blue is through your basic training phases. Gold and black are through your AIT phases.
That's real. He explains it in the movie. He said, "Good job" is the worst 2 words the worst 2 words in English that you could ever say, because it gives somebody the confidence to think that they have arrived. So with him being belittling to everybody, it was his way of like, either you're going to persevere and take all this and become great, or you're going to see yourself out the door like the guy earlier.
That's why we don't hear "good job, Ed."
I don't care. I mean, it is what it is.
I like my ass patted every now and again.
I bet you do. I bet you like an attaboy every now and then, don't you?
Only if I'm in uniform.
Only if you.
If I'm in uniform, it's not. It's not that way.
Are you playing now?
Nick, what about you? You're huge, Miles.
Yes, I like my ass patted.
He likes attaboy too. A stiff
Attaboy.
one. What's the Key and Peele when he's like slap ass?
Oh my god!
That's what they do in baseball, though. Can't blame the Dominican Republicans.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know what else. I know nothing else but slap ass.
You're a huge Miles Teller fan. Is this the first movie that you stumbled upon with him in it, or?
It might have been 21 and over, or his little parts in Project X.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Project X.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One Fantastic Four.
Oh, Fantastic Four.
He was the best. He was the best part of Fantastic Four.
That's the only reason why I want to go watch it.
Yep. And next week, what we're talking about now?
Next week.
What was that movie he was in with Jonah Hill? Was it like Gun Runners or something?
Oh,
War Dogs.
War Dogs.
War Dogs. Yeah.
That's a good fucking movie.
Next week on the show.
Next week.
What about the scene where he, Zach, you brought up where he ices his hand. What about the scene where he keeps the 3 drummers there?
Oh, yeah. Just not my tempo.
Yeah, not my tempo. And it's just like
it's literally an insult fest for like literally 5 minutes. It's been crazy.
You get Miles Teller's his actual like orgasm face in that scene.
Is that your favorite scene of the movie, Johnny?
You gotta sell it.
Yeah,
that's Nick's wallpaper.
He should have won Best Supporting Actor right there.
That whole scene, I love that scene. Just
It is a good scene.
the switching around.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're gonna earn your damn spot, man.
And it like pisses him off that I think it was Connolly that adjusted the seats. Oh, that's your problem. It's your seat. It's a seat, so you can finally play. It's just like wow.
Well, it's funny that he's able to tell within like the first bar that there's like, okay, nope, next. Like you're either gonna get on it or you're.
Dude, but you can hear that crap, man. It's just like
I
if you
know.
hear a remix or if you hear a freaking it's easier to tell an out of tune note than an actual in tune. You know what I mean?
Well, no, it's just the straight up like all he needs is like 3 notes to understand that you're not on his tempo.
Yeah,
and that's I mean,
yep.
Just the way he's like, okay, on my cue, 1, 2, 3, done. Get next. That's like, golly, like you won't even let me get like 2 or 3 tries in a row to get this going.
Yeah.
I also love the scene where Tanner loses or gives his book to Nemeth, and then Nemeth loses it.
Neiman.
And Drew.
And the whole time you think Neiman's going to get in trouble, but Fletcher's like, well, it's your responsibility. Why would you give it to him? I felt for Andrew when he walked in the room the next day, and that classmate was like, "Don't touch my book. Don't look over here." Yeah.
One of the other scenes that is just like so it's heart wrenching. It's just I think, and some of it is just really the editing of this movie is so damn good. Is where he forgets his drumsticks. He has to go all the way back to the car rental place, and he gets in the car wreck, and he gets back on stage, and he's dripping blood all over the place. He can't. His hands is like partially broken or whatever, and he's just trying his damnedest to start playing. And like Fletcher's looking at him as like, dude, no, you're out. Just quit. Just quit trying to think that you're still ahead of the game when you're not.
Did you touch my drum set?
I was wondering when the Step Brothers was going to come in. I was wondering.
Or who was going to bring it in?
Yeah.
On my cue.
Any flaws that anybody liked or probably did not like in this movie?
I can't think of any flaws in this movie, to be honest.
Nick? Who liked Paul Reiser as the father? I'm a huge Paul Reiser fan. I love Mad About You.
I can't tell.
Yeah, I like the dynamic there.
What's that, Zach?
I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
No, I'm serious. I really.
You got
like
the complete box set behind you or something.
Paul Reiser's like anything that he's in. He's not like overly dramatic or he's not super funny, but he's a good side character and a side. He's a good side piece.
Side piece.
Yeah.
First off,
he plays a good dad. He can play a good victim, like whether he did an Alien or Aliens. I think he's just a good side character that probably he's good sprinkled in here or there.
So you want him to patch you, is what you're saying?
Yeah, almost like a Barry Pepper. You know who I'm talking about?
He wants an attaboy from him.
Yeah, that's.
He doesn't need to be in uniform then.
You see how I was able to bring all that back around to Barry Pepper?
That's a real guy.
No, it is a real guy. You're right, but I'm just like, yeah.
Did you know that he was going to come into this conversation?
No, I didn't.
We're talking Whiplash, and you're like, now we're talking about Barry Pepper for the first time in a long time.
I think the last time we talked about him was Saving Private Ryan, like 5 years ago. So,
I only brought that up because to me, after he, it doesn't go good for him after the car wreck, and he tackles Fletcher. To me, the movie kind of just slows down for the final 10 minutes until he meets Fletcher again in the bar. And I'm not gonna lie, the first time I saw this, I thought Fletcher was gonna drug him and rape him.
What?
Yes. I thought he was gonna find out that it was him that said something and got him fired from the from the school. And then I thought Fletcher was gonna probably not rape him. I think I just threw that in there for dramatic effect. But I thought he was gonna like drug him or do something to him at the end of this movie. I thought it was gonna be like a
He did. You just went off on the deep end on your
Theory.
yeah. I
That's
thought
the
he was gonna,
alternate ending.
I thought he was gonna drug him and kill him or something.
Alternate ending.
But to me, it kind of slowed down dramatically because the first hour and 15 minutes were so intense, to where the last 30 minutes it did kind of just drop off just a little bit for me.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think he needed that though, to be honest.
it gave you a time to breathe and think that he wasn't going to be
The
like
dickhead.
they both took some time and they both have realized like, okay, we both understand our wrongs, but in the end it's like, dude, I got you where I want you. You're in front of everybody. And that's, he tells it to them. He's like, with one call, you can either be a part of everything or you can fall on your face and ruin your shot. And he knew exactly what he was doing. So
Yeah.
obviously he did. Movie shows it.
Well, and I think, that is one of the worst types of revenge is embarrassment. And like he literally gets him on stage and says, "You don't think I knew it was you that called?" It's like, let's just see. And then he doesn't have the right, it's not the score, but like the music program just where he could play. And so what you end up getting, in my opinion, is probably one of the best scenes of 2014 of the caravan scene, where it's edited perfectly. It's acted perfectly. It sums up everything that this movie was either trying to say or trying to show through these two characters. And that final look between Fletcher and Andrew of like, yeah, I think that's like, you've earned it, and that's how the movie ends. I think it's incredible.
So who got the last laugh?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking you who.
Oh, who do you think got the last laugh?
Mm-hmm.
I think Nick. Yeah.
This guy.
Probably Andrew, to be honest, because he literally was able to orchestrate the entire caravan sequence, just saying like, "Hey, I'll cue you in, and let's show this person who they're dealing with."
Yeah, it was Neiman for sure.
Yeah.
Or are we all looking past the fact that it was actually JK's character because he created the next greatest musician?
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know technically. I mean, what if the events for that were so traumatic? Neiman tried to,
Well, that's what he said. Either you persevere or you fall off. Like that's
you die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
There's the Nolan reference.
That's Nick Saban.
Yeah, but that kind of goes back into what the scene where Fletcher talks about his student dying, and you think it's a legit, like this person died in a car wreck, and he was supposed to be like the next great musician. In actuality, he took his own life, and it's the realization of like the amount of perfection that Fletcher is willing to show, like you were talking, Ed. It can lead people down a very dark path to the point where you may not be able to come back from that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
all in all,
it's crazy.
You guys think the Oscars got it right or wrong? Best Picture of the year. A lot of movies like this are memorable, but compared to like something that won that year, Birdman, like nobody remembers Birdman. I don't think any of us really want to go ever back and rewatch Birdman. But when it comes to Whiplash, it's got great performances. The music is catchy. I heard Craig over there listening to the soundtrack before we got on.
No, that was me. I was just singing it. That's how good I am.
Nick, it's got Miles Teller in it, which is
this isn't a cappella.
One of the greatest of all time. J.K. Simmons. So I don't know. It seems like the Oscars does that a lot. Well, they'll have a movie win that's not memorable, and then the movie that was memorable doesn't win.
I think I'm looking at the nominated pictures. Birdman won Best Picture, and I think out of all of them, Whiplash was my favorite. The other nominees were American Sniper, Boyhood, The Grand Budapest Hotel, The Imitation Game, Selma, and The Theory of Everything.
Ugh.
Yeah. So I'd probably say either.
Who wants to watch a movie about a guy in a wheelchair?
Hey, we can't talk about that anymore because that man did some terrible things.
He did some terrible things. He was Jesus Hill, then got up out the wheelchair and molested some people.
Good.
All right,
Well,
that's the theory of
last
everything. The
episode
director's
of
cut.
the
Yeah,
podcast.
he didn't even get out the wheelchair. from
He
what I
found
heard.
his theory of everything.
Wow. I think in retrospect, if these Oscars were done, I think it would either be Whiplash or Boyhood that would win. To be honest,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
those are two worthy films to be
Yes.
winners.
Yeah.
But don't lie, Johnny. I know you have Birdman on Blu-ray in your Oscar collection over there.
I do. And it was a Michael Keaton movie. I'm not saying it was terrible, but it's just not memorable like this one.
Yeah.
No.
I thought Birdman was going to be like that, a movie based off that TV show on Adult Swim. With a Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. That's why it was so
That's a-
disappointing.
That's a blast from the past. I haven't heard that show in like 10 plus
Honestly.
years.
Welcome to my train of thought.
My train of
Man.
Favorite scenes. Does anyone else have any thoughts about the finale of the film? Just the caravan sequence.
Nah. I mean, it's
Go on.
just like it shows just how, they both wanted to prove their point. He wanted to prove that he was destined for greatness. JK wanted to prove that he wasn't, that guy. He couldn't be the greatest.
You're not that guy.
Yeah, you're not that guy, pal. And they both came to the realization that, it's like you being as stubborn as you are, and you being, as perseverant as you are. Even though we both hate each other's guts, we both pushed each other to a height that we weren't at before.
I think Matthew McConaughey should have played Fletcher.
You're doing a
All right,
recast.
We're gonna play something sweet now. All right. Best thing about Schaefer College is
Oh my god.
Yeah. When I was
Maybe we
watching
need
the,
to. Maybe
when I
we
was
need
watching
to
the movie,
rewrite. Go ahead,
I
Nick.
thought they probably made a cool recast if it was. He's not alive anymore, but Arlie Ermy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. He was good.
Maybe we need to write to Chazelle and have him remake the movie with McConaughey. See what that version.
I'm telling you, McConaughey is better in everything. God's Not Dead. Be better if Matthew McConaughey was in it. Sound of Freedom. Be better if Matthew McConaughey was in it. Blue Steel. Be better if Matthew McConaughey was in it. I'm just saying. Gran Turismo. Let's get behind that fast car, all right. I'm just saying.
Hey, be sitting there bumping his chest like. Here's the tempo. All my tempo.
Not quite my tempo.
Is this a box for me?
Oh hell!
That's not all right.
The eyes of Whiplash are on you.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. That's what
Yeah.
this episode needed. You know what? And instead of doing Goodwill Hunting tomorrow, we're starting our Matthew McConaughey year off. No. Let's get into some favorite scenes then. Nick, we'll start with you. Do you have a favorite scene?
It was mentioned earlier, where Neiman has to go back and find his folder, gets that wreck, then comes back and tries to perform.
He looked like Zach Gallen after getting beat up by Brock Lesnar trying to perform.
Dang.
Ed, what about you? You have a favorite scene?
I mean, I guess I'd go ahead and go with the one scene where he throws the chair at him and all that. That shows the intense or exaggerated, I guess. But yeah, I've been there, done that when a music teacher gets frustrated at somebody, and it's always kind of awkward.
You throw chairs at people.
Negative. I've never seen that. I've seen someone be told to go to the principal's office that they're done with them, but
Oh my god.
that's the most extreme.
Bigotry.
Damn. What?
Craig, could you imagine little Joe Paterno throwing chairs at big ass football players?
I don't want to imagine little Joe doing anything.
Little Joe Paterno's like,
Oh my
you didn't
God.
line up right. Get in the showers and meet me in the showers.
Oh my
so bad.
god.
But that's,
Well,
I mean,
this
that
is the
is
series
Joe
finale.
also.
I just want to.
It's been
Chad
nice.
Henne, you threw an interception. Oh, wrong university. Never mind. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Zach, what are you? You got a favorite scene?
Probably the caravan finale and not my tempo. Two really great sequences. So
I'd have to agree. I would say the ones where he's going through the three drummers and yeah, not my tempo. I do like the scene where you see just a very good flash of the father and son going to the movie theaters, the milk dud and popcorn scene. I know it doesn't. You sit there and you don't think of it being a perfect, an important scene. But Andrew's like, why didn't you tell me that you didn't want him in there? He's like, that doesn't bother me. I just eat around him. And right there, that scene shows you that he's okay with just nitpicking around what people tell him and what he's always been brought up to kind of be not bullied into doing things. But that scene right there, he's fine with whatever anybody throws at him.
Well, that kind of goes also into the family dinner scene where you have the two brothers who are like football champions or whatever, and he's just sitting there going like,
It's Division 3.
Yeah, well, it's also like this is going to be the best part of your life. Well, I'm going to go on and do something incredible.
Yep.
So
That's a good point. Yeah. Craig, what about you? Favorite scene?
Man, there's quite a few of them. Man,
the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, just anytime.
Yeah.
He's just going ham on them for not being on tempo, or the super intimate scenes where he's like right in his face and just kind of like belittling him. It's all good stuff.
It is.
So, I mean, it is. It's good stuff to me. So, yeah, totally dug it. I was like, yeah, yell at him. No, but yeah, just those scenes in general.
Craig really likes to make people cry. So
yeah, like, yeah, little bitch, beat on the drums faster.
Nice. Let's get to
it.
Star rating 1 out of 10. If this is the first time you guys have checked us out, 1 being an absolute shit show, 10 being as pitch perfect as can be. So, let's start with Craig. You finished us off last, so kick us off this time. What's your star rating for this movie?
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a big old 10. Really enjoyed it. I think it's the movie flows very well for being hour 45, I believe. Yeah. So flows really well. You look up and you're already like an hour into the movie. So there's really no complaints on timing. There's no complaints on it being slow.
There's a lot of complaints on timing.
Yeah, well, good one. But like, I mean, there's not really much to nitpick about this movie. There was really only 3 or 4 main performances. They all did really good. The soundtrack, the score, the chemistry, the acting, it was all top notch. And for a movie that only needed 3 million or 4 million?
3 million.
3 million to make. It's a great movie about a musician trying to be great while also struggling to have to deal with a composer who wants to be great as well and doesn't want anything less than perfection. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I wish he didn't treat Nicole the way he did, and he could have hopefully gave her the drumstick before he let her go.
that's Superwoman. Be careful.
It is. I'll go next. I'm going to give this movie a 10. I'm the exact same way. It flows. The movie is so high pitched and so intense. It's just it flies by, and I can't believe this movie's celebrating 10 years this year, and it is definitely lived a good 10-year life, and I think this is one of those movies that you will continue to hear and see and talk about maybe 10 years from now again, and performances that'll last a lifetime. So great movie, in and out, 10 stars. Nick?
It's a 1. No, I'm just kidding. It's a 10, obviously, for me. This is probably, if not my favorite Miles Teller film out of his whole filmography. Awesome performances from Miles Teller and J.K. So everything about the movie, even those intense, like the whole movie, it's kind of intense.
Nice.
You can feel it.
Zach, what about you?
Yeah, following the train. 10 out of 10 for me. Easily probably the best movie of 2014 if it wasn't, preference. Really well made, really well edited. I'm surprised that Chazelle didn't get a Best Director nomination for this. 2 great performances. Yeah, I do agree that 10 years on, we remember this. We remember Boyhood. I'll even put American Sniper in there. It's just weird that it's fun to go back and look at the Oscars and see what they got right, what they got wrong. This is definitely one that it probably should have got nominated for a lot more things. It should win a lot more things. And at the end of the day, yeah, I agree. If they re-release this year in honor of its 10th anniversary, I'd love to see this in the theater. So
I'm gonna have to go ahead and do a 9 out of 10 for that matter. It was a good film. Very intense, very I think commanding of your attention when it needed to be. Definitely. A lot of the things were really, really cool to see in it. How they did different things like notations and all that good stuff. But yeah.
Where's
Nice.
the flaw, Ed?
Oh yeah.
Where's the flaw that you didn't get
Where's
that
the
1
flaw?
point?
Why does there have to be a flaw? Why does there have to be a flaw? It's just
Because we
not my
demand perfection.
And you're out of tune. It is what it is. Deal with it,
Whoa.
Not that Craig's out of tune. Craig was fine. Craig was perfect, but Zach was great too.
It was not quite your tempo, was it?
Nah, man.
No.
I agree. If the man was there, maybe it would have been that kind of tempo. But yeah, it was good though. It really was.
What if Jack Black played Neiman?
Oh Jesus Christ!
That's a very different version of School of Rock.
Oh my God! School of Rock. Oh Jesus!
That being said, next week we are starting our Robin Williams movie trend. Next week, January 17th, we're going to be talking Good Will Hunting, Robin Williams, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. Next week on a new episode of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast, we'll talk Good Will Hunting from 1997. So that being said, any other final thoughts on Whiplash before we get out of here?
Go check it out. It's on Netflix right now. So
yeah,
and Good Will Hunting is on Max. So go Max it up.
Max with Good Will Hunting next week. Yeah. So, anybody else got any final thoughts on Whiplash?
Negative Ghost Rider.
All right, guys. That's it. Thanks for everybody for joining. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Next week, new episode, Good Will Hunting, right here on the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. Ed's not my tempo. 9 stars.